On today's show, we explore travel locations that make you feel like you've stepped straight into an epic movie, whether that's a sweeping cinematic landscape, a romantic European cafe, or a place that gives total main character energy. So, grab your suitcase, blast that soundtrack, and silence your inner critic, because it's time to Movify your life and your travels. Welcome to the Movify Your Life show, the plot twists you've been waiting for. I'm your host, Jessica Grace Coleman, and through the Movify Your Life method, I'll show you how to step into the starring role of your story and create a life worth watching. Every Movify Monday, you'll learn how to turn everyday moments into unforgettable memories, activate your main character energy, and use cinematic tools to boldly chase your biggest dreams, like the movie star you truly are. Because when the credits roll, I want you to look back at your life like it's the greatest film ever made, full of meaning, magic, and most importantly, zero regrets. And because I truly believe everyone deserves to live an epic life fit for the big screen. So grab your popcorn, cue the music, and together, let's Movify your life. Welcome to the Movify Your Life show. I am your host, Jessica Grace Coleman, and today's episode is titled Travel Like You're in a Movie, Destinations That Feel Cinematic AF. Now, I've talked about set jetting on this show before. I just had to re-record that because I said jet setting and I meant set jetting, which is when you go to places that are filming locations from your favourite films and TV shows, or perhaps they inspired a show or inspired an author to write a book, and you are jetting to the set. Basically, you walk around and you feel like you're in your favourite movie. You know all the spots, you can see where people filmed certain scenes. There are lots of social media people online who go around and do the thing where they hold up the photo from the movie and it's in the place. They're visiting the place it was filmed. And I love all that stuff. So it's stuff I've talked about on this show a lot. You can go to episode 165 if you want to hear more about this. It is titled Set Jetting. What is this travel trend and how can you use it to movify your life? And I like to think of this episode today as a kind of sister episode to that. What I'm talking about today is kind of set jetting's cinematic cousin. So, quick example, some of the places I've been to that are sort of set jetting related. Been to Richmond in London, which is where Ted Lasso is filmed. New Zealand, I've been on Lord of the Rings tours there, including Rivendell. Obviously, there was a lot of CGI involved that we didn't see, but was it like the actual place? The Father Ted House in Ireland. Stately homes such as Highclere Castle, where Downton Abbey is filmed. Chatsworth House, where Pride and Prejudice was filmed and inspired by. New York, places from Sex and the City and Friends and all that good stuff. Paris, places from Emily in Paris, places in Iceland and Northern Ireland from Game of Thrones. There's loads more, and I talk about a lot of them in the other episode that I mentioned. But I'm not talking about specific filming locations in this episode. So I'm talking about travel locations that make you feel like you're in an epic movie. And there are several different categories of this that I've come up with. But off the top of my head, when I was first thinking about this, before I get into the carefully selected categories, well, the first thing that came to mind was actually the Grand Canyon. I'm lucky enough to have been twice. I did a year abroad in America, so one of the time was that time, and I went with my family as well, and we did a road trip around the States. And there's lots of places like the Grand Canyon in terms of their big, wide, sweeping vistas, rock formations. You're in the desert. Like, it's just epic. So we also went to like Zion National Park, you have Yosemite, Yellowstone, like basically any national park in America, I think would be great for this. But the Grand Canyon is just a league of your own. I think one of the quotes when we went there was from a farmer who said, "It's one hell of a place to lose a cow." And I went to Arizona recently. I was talking about it in a recent episode. And one of the friends I made there, she did a day trip to the Grand Canyon and I did my day trip to Sedona, and she went in helicopter over the Grand Canyon. And that is pure movie magic. You would absolutely feel like you were in a movie if you did that. So big national parks, especially in America, you can feel like you're in a movie. one of them, I think it was Yosemite, or was it Yellowstone? I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But there were places with like really crazy alien landscapes, like really misty, and there were like dead trees poking up through the mist, and it just looked like something from an alien landscape, and that felt like I was in a movie, like a weird alien movie, but still a movie. I also thought of, well, just anything with epic scenery, basically. Huge forests, huge rock formations. As I said, Sedona was very amazing. Just driving around Sedona felt like I was in a movie with all the red rocks popping up everywhere. It was just gobsmacking. It was amazing. Just anywhere with like sweeping vistas, epic mountains, lakes, anything, like just like epic scenery. You can just imagine you're in an amazing movie. I also thought of the wonders of the world, and I am just going to Google them now, because I get confused with the modern and the ancient ones and like the unofficial ones and stuff. So we have the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Oh, wait, hang on. No, new 7 wonders of the world. There we go. The Great Wall of China. I've been there. It is incredible. You absolutely feel like you're in a movie. It's like nothing else I've seen, really. Petra, Jordan. I haven't been there, but I would like to. Christ the Redeemer in Brazil, the big statue. I mean, if you went there, you looked up at that, you can imagine being in a movie. Same with Machu Picchu in Peru, Chichen Itza in Mexico, the Colosseum in Rome. I've been there. You can absolutely just stand there and like think or feel like you're in an old gladiator movie or something, hopefully, without all the violence. And the Taj Mahal in India, I have not been there, but I could just imagine looking up at that and just feeling like I'm in a movie. And then we have an honorary mention for the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is the sole survivor from the Ancient Wonders list. And yet I've not been there, but I was growing up, I was really fascinated by ancient Egypt, so I'd love to go. Although a lot of these places, because they're wonders, you will get a lot of tourists, and that doesn't help with the Movified feeling, just putting that out there. But I also thought about places like I am going to Banff in Canada, Banff National Park this year, because I saw it on a movie and thought, oh my God, that is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. Mountains, lakes, absolutely gorgeous colours. I can't wait to go. But just even if you haven't seen it in a movie anywhere, I can imagine that going there and just soaking up that scenery will make you feel like you're in an epic movie. Prince Edward Island, I was talking to someone about this the other day, where Anne of Green Gables is set. Just looks absolutely beautiful. You can imagine you're Anne with an E running around there. Just anywhere with like vast sweeping vistas, as I say, or maybe sort of gothic style beaches. Iceland, the scenery there is incredible and just so otherworldly, like you just feel like you're in a movie. But it could also be things like the cobbled streets of a cute English village will make you feel like you're in a cute little, maybe British rom-com or something, or a grand castle in the Scottish Highlands might make you think you're in a gothic romance or a gothic horror. A cafe in Paris where you can sit outside and watch the people go by and overlook the river and have baked goods and a cocktail and just feel like you're in a European romance film.
Okay, movie star, real talk. Are you tired of feeling like a background extra in your own life? Then it's time to step into the spotlight and activate your main character era. And I've got just the thing to help you do it. Grab my free Movie Star Alter Ego Starter Kit, your behind-the-scenes pass to creating the bold, brave, action-taking version of you who goes after their dreams like the star of a blockbuster. Inside, you'll discover how to design your alter ego, choose your transformational item, pick your theme song, and build the rituals and confidence cues you need to start living your life like the epic movie it was meant to be. So, if you're ready to rewrite your script, roll camera, and finally take the lead, head to movifyyourlife.com/free to download your free starter kit now. That's movifyyourlife.com/free. Your next scene starts today. And now, let's get back to the action.
There are so many ideas, but let me get to the categories because I've sort of made a bit of an effort to categorize these places. So the first category is epic, big budget, wide shot energy. So this is where I started with, like the Grand Canyon. It's like pure opening scene of an epic energy. Banff National Park, the turquoise lakes, towering peaks. You can imagine it's like a swelling score, orchestral, cinematic, classical music. The Norwegian fjords. I've never been, but I'd like to. Moody, majestic, cinematic from every angle. Iceland, I just said. They have the volcanoes, the waterfalls, the black sand beaches. Again, it's like nowhere I've ever nowhere else I've ever been. So Iceland is definitely on there. Okay, the next category, I'm losing my voice here. I'm still quite ill recording this. No, this is the 4th episode I'm recording in a row. So sorry, please stay with me. So the ones I've just talked about, they're the places where you sort of instinctively just pause, like you stop, you stare, you cannot believe the sight before you. And you think, why does my life suddenly feel like a film trailer? Or you can just imagine someone galloping past on a horse or doing something epic at the start of a movie in these amazing places. And the next category is romantic, cozy, slow cinema vibes. So I mentioned a cafe in Paris, or maybe it's strolling along the river in Paris. People watching, you can pretend you're in a rom-com and you're about to have your meet cute with someone. Venice, very cinematic, obviously, all the canals, all the pretty coloured buildings on the nearby islands and that kind of thing. Florence, golden light, ancient streets, art and love. Prague, cobbles, towers, fairy tale mood. Anywhere with like a fairy tale kind of castle or somewhere with a turret or, anywhere like that is great. Vienna, I've not been, but I can imagine you can get those romantic, cozy, slow cinema vibes from there. So it doesn't have to be like hugely epic in terms of scenery, just something that makes you feel like you're in a specific genre of a film, like a rom-com. Then we have storybook villages and period drama feels. So this could include stately homes, like I mentioned, even if they haven't been specifically featured in a film or a TV show. You can get that old worldy vibe and feel like you're in a period drama. The Cotswolds are great for this. The cozy Honeystone villages, the gentle pace, apart from the tourists, thatched roofs, tiny little streams. I'm picturing Bourton on the Water and specifically, but any Cotswolds village really lovely. Colmar in France, I've been there. I would love to go at Christmas one year, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Pastel houses, storybook streets. It feels like a film set. It really, really does. The Scottish Highlands, like I mentioned, castles, lochs, mist, epic romance potential. Transylvania. I would love to go to Transylvania. Dramatic landscapes, gothic vibes, all things Dracula and Wednesday Series 1 was filmed there, I believe. The kind of places where you accidentally start romanticizing your own life hard. The next category is forests, lakes, and find yourself movie energy. So I mentioned Prince Edward Island earlier, Banff for the lakes. Lake Bled, I'd really like to go to. I've not been there. Alpine vibes. Anywhere with like the Black Forest, like deep woods, folklore vibes. Hopefully not Blair Witch vibes. And places where you could find yourself. So that could be Eat, Pray, Love style, like literally Italy, India, Bali, I think it was. Bali has a lot of those kind of find yourself vibes. Indonesia in general, Southeast Asia, going to Thailand and seeing all the temples will make you feel like you're in a movie. Going to Vietnam, going to Halong Bay and that kind of scenery, all amazing. Then we have city as a movie set energy. So I mentioned that I went to New York and visited places from like Sex and the City and Friends, so like the Friends apartment and Carrie Bradshaw's apartment, the cupcake place they go to. I'm sure I've gone to lots more set jetting places in New York, but I cannot think of them off the top of my head. I'm still quite ill. Like New York City, basically every new street feels like a scene change. So many places have been filmed in New York that you can't help but feel like you're in a movie when you wander around there, even if you're not thinking of a specific film. Similar London, that could be kind of romantic rom-com London vibes, like Notting Hill or Love Actually. Or we could, go down the history route or a bit of the darker side with like From Hell and Jack the Ripper and stuff like that you can do at Jack the Ripper Doors and ye olde London town. Pick your genre, but London is similar to New York in that so many things have been filmed there. Or maybe go to Tokyo, which has been on my list for so long and I've not yet made it to Japan, but like neon chaos and futuristic looking buildings and streets. Walk around Tokyo, I'm sure you'll feel like you're in a movie. And like I say, it is on my bucket list. So these are cities where just simply walking around feels cinematic. You might recognize particular scenes or locations from films or TV shows, but generally just walking around and soaking up the vibe of that particular city can make you feel like you're in a movie. I'm going to end there because I can feel my voice getting worse and worse. My throat is closing up a little bit. But the big takeaway here is that you don't have to chase famous filming locations to feel like you're in a movie, although I also do love set jetting. So I would highly recommend that as well. You just have to choose places that feel bigger than your everyday life. maybe they're completely different to what you're used to, that match the genre you want to live in. So if you want to live in a romanticized rom-com type life, then you could go to the Cotswolds, you could go to Paris, go to London, and places that invite you to slow down, look around, and step into main character mode. And just choose places that inspire you. If you're inspired by beautiful scenery, then go to the beautiful places. I love visiting places with huge, like just out of this world scenery, like I said, like the national parks in America and Grand Canyon and Iceland and all these places. But I equally love strolling around London or Paris and feeling like I'm in a cute, quaint little romantic film. Finding independent bookstore in Paris and London feels like you might be about to have a meet cute with like a handsome book reading guy. It all depends on your favorite genre, what lights you up, what makes you gasp in awe. And I highly recommend both set jetting and doing this kind of travel. I need to come up with a term for it, don't I? But basically destinations that feel cinematic AF. So thank you for listening. Let me know if you have any recommendations for either set jetting or like cinematic places. You can email me at action@movifyyourlife.com or DM me on Instagram at movifyyourlife. And until next time, I will see you on the red carpet.
Thank you so much for listening to the Movify Your Life show. Before you go, don't forget to sign up for the main character memo mailing list at movifyyourlife.com/list for exclusive tips, treats, and behind the scenes magic. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would really appreciate it if you could please subscribe, leave a review, or share this podcast with a friend. Let's spread that Movify message far and wide because everyone deserves to live an epic life fit for the big screen. I'll see you next week for another Movify Monday. Until then, that's a wrap.